Welcome to the Writer's Corner, and in this upcoming series, we'll be going through our recommendations, our shows, movies, and other media like video games, books, and graphic novels, and so much more.
Enjoy the writers discussing our recommendations, and we hope that all of you guys check out these recommendations for yourselves.
Each video we will be discussing a specific genre, and we will be saying live action and animated works.
And we hope you have fun watching and learning some shows that will interest you. Now on to the video. Here are the rules.
We can put both animated and live action stuff together and not its separate things. Same with musicals, cartoons, family movies, foreign movies, and video games.
It has to be the main genre of the movie or show, like if it's shown as an action, then it's under action.
And we can't mention too much of a movie or a show if it's already previously discussed. You can only mention it.
Now on to the video.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry.
My turn.
I'm gonna skip down and then come back later. I'm gonna talk about the Neverending Story next, just because it's similar to Legend. It came out around the same time. It's another of those fantasy 80s movies. And it's funny because in Stranger Things, they had the kids sing the Neverending Story song.
I remember. That was great.
Yeah, I wonder how many people got that reference. I don't know if
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
It's been a while, so.
But yeah, it's the Neverending Story is, in a way, it's like a dual protagonist story. Because it starts off with Bastion, who's a boy in the ordinary world, and he ducks into a bookstore to hide from these bullies, but then he sees this book. And he's like an avid bookworm. He's read every fantasy and science fiction book there is, or every adventure book. But the bookstore owner tells him, "Oh, this book isn't for you. It's not safe." But of course, Bastion takes the book, and then he skips out on school too. He gets to school and hides in the attic to read this book. And then it follows the adventures of the character in the book, Atreyu, in the world of Fantasia, and he has to stop something known as the Nothing that's just making everything disappear. But it jumps between following Atreyu's adventure and watching Bastion read through it, because Bastion doesn't realize that he's actually a part of the story. He just thinks it's a book. He doesn't realize it's almost like real life. And he actually has an effect on it.
Oh, yeah. I remember that movie. What was it? I remember I guess I shouldn't talk about that scene, or if people watched it.
Do you mean the traumatic scene?
Yeah, the really sad one.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I think that traumatized a lot of children.
Yeah, it was really heartbroken.
Can I say a funny story about? It's relating to the Neverending Story.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so I never heard of this movie until when you said it, and I was like, wait a second. I remember this movie. I was like, oh yeah. But then I'm like, your story wasn't adding up. I was like, what? And then I remembered, oh wait, I watched the sequel. I didn't even watch the first movie. Apparently my dad bought the movie, but it wasn't even the first movie. It was the sequel.
The sequel wasn't considered good.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it as a little kid, but the first one is the one to watch. The first one is really good, and the special effects for the time are good too.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, especially the horse scene.
Oh, and I love the Atreyu meets his luck dragon, Falcor.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a fluffy white dog. He's he's adorable.
Oh yeah, I remember the dragon.
And then it's so it's cute. I love it.
Yeah.
And next scene.
Next one. Okay.
Anything else we talk about?
That's about all. Like, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
it's also it's based off of a book, but it's interesting because like even though I love the movie, it's actually like there are a lot of things changed from the book, and it actually the first movie only covers the first half of the book.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is that why there's like number 2?
Yeah, but like number 2 only has some elements from the book. It like is really like they still did their own thing, so it like it's still
so we have to read the book first next.
Yeah, but yeah, there's only one book, but I understand why they had to do it the way they did, because a lot of what happens in the book, their special effects just weren't up to that at the time.
I wonder if they're gonna...
and it's like if they were to remake it, I think they would have to do it like in 2 parts, because it really does feel like 2 stories in one.
Okay, so it's that's interesting. Yeah, I want to read the book now. So yeah, who's next?
Okay, so I'm gonna go like change it up again, and because I have a lot of webtoons and I want to split this as much as possible. Like, not like I'm gonna talk about something else that's not a webtoon at the moment. This one I'm watching right now, which I love so much, which is called The Case Study of Vanitas, and it's about this story about let me tell you about the lore about the world where so there's 2 types of vampires that are mentioned apparently in this world, where there are vampires that were born under the crimson moon. You can tell when their eyes turn red. And then there is this cursed one called ones that are born under the blue moon, and they are cursed, and so there's like a little kid's quote unquote kid like story about like how this blue-eyed eyes vampire was exiled from the Crimson Clan because he was born under the cursed blue moon, and so he rued the day. He makes them rue the day that they outcast him, and so he decides to make this grimoire and cast a curse upon the crimson, like the vampires of the Crimson Moon. And so we go into like I don't know, like Elizabeth ish Victoria era. Like it's kind of like the same era as like Sherlock Holmes. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. And so then we go along and we follow the view of Noe, who is born under the Crimson Moon, and he's really adorable in the story. Like he likes seeing new things because I've never been to Paris before, or like, wow, this is so amazing, there's so much to explore. But he's also trying to find the grimoire that belonged to Vanitas, who basically cursed the vampires of the Crimson Moon, and to try to find its like to check if it's like authentic and like make sure it's like if it's real or not. And then we meet Vanitas, who is actually not the same Vanitas in the story. He's actually a human who was a descendant of Vanitas, who was a vampire, which I don't understand how that works, but they'll probably explain it later in the story because it hasn't gone that far yet. And he wants to become a doctor for vampires.
Makes sense.
And he doesn't care what other people think. He wants to do it his own way. So, and he's like, screw people, I don't care what you think, I'm gonna do things my way, whether you like it or not. And and it just follows the story between of those 2. And so this is not a spoiler because this is basically said in more of like it's like it's being told by Noel, like not Noel, like Noe. I keep saying I was like Noe. And him and like being in the future and stuff and writing to himself, and at the end of like the story that he ends up killing Vanitas in the end, so it's probably gonna end in a tragedy because that's literally what he says in the first episode. So yeah, that's I recommend this series, and surprisingly it's a series that I actually really like with vampires, which I'm not the type of person to really like vampires that much. but this series, like, it spoke out to me. Also, and the art for the manga, it's so pretty, dude. Like, damn. And all the character designs are good, and there's a lot of like mixed like like sexual tension between characters, which is funny when it's actually not actual like sexual tension. It's funny. It's great. It's like, yeah, I recommend this. I would say that Noelle would also like this series because of like building, and it's how like yeah, and it's also like you can just it's really new, so I do recommend watching it. While it still has 7 episodes at the moment, so yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I recommend the case study of Vanitas. So yeah, I don't know where you usually watch your anime, so
Yeah, well, right now I can only really watch things on Netflix, and then when I go to my brother's, he has Crunchyroll. But
yeah, you can definitely watch it on Crunchyroll then.
Unfortunately, he like doesn't know his password, so he can't share it with me.
Oh, rip.
He forgot.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah,
he has to change his password then.
yeah, but like he doesn't even. I think he like lost. He doesn't like remember the email address he used either, because I think he made the account like years ago, so he doesn't like. He's able to log in using his iPad and like connecting it to the TV, but like yeah, I think he's worried like he'd have to like find this long lost email. So
yeah, this is why I don't usually like watch Crunchyroll anymore. That's why I sell the 7 Cs to just watch anime. That's how much I'm just like, yep, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I tried watching Crunchyroll with the ads, and it was just the ads on there are so depressing.
Yeah.
Like you're watching this lighthearted slice of life, and then it cuts in with, if all the rhinos could fit in a stadium, or be like, or children are starving to death. It's like the most depressing ads ever, and it's just like, wow, these ads are just like making me so sad.
Yeah,
I like felt like a horrible person. So yeah, I couldn't do Crunchyroll with ads.
I remember like being so annoyed
Also,
because there were so many
can't
Tide
watch.
like commercials. I'm like, why is there so much Tide commercials?
I know. Also, they always like get 4 ads in there, and it's
Yeah, they get
the
4
ad
ads
to
in one
their,
episode, which makes no sense.
I mean, to their website. I was like, I am already here. Why are you showing it to me?
Can I just use ad blocker? But then they're like, nope, too bad.
Nope.
You can't use ad
Okay.
blocker. But
I
yeah.
was like, yep, I'm not gonna watch Crunchyroll anymore. Then. Yep.
Okay. Anyways, moving on to that. Oh yeah, to that funny tangent. You.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yep.
Let's see.
We're gonna have a lot of videos with this one.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So back to a Hayao Miyazaki film. I recommend Castle in the Sky, or Laputa. Castle in the Sky. It's a story about, a castle in the sky.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, and it's about this group who finds a girl who actually lives in that castle of the sky a long time ago or something, and they want her to bring them to that castle, but but during all that, the ship that they were carrying her in got raided by pirates, and the girl escaped from that group, and she fell right over the main protagonist's house, a boy named Shida, right? Or wait, no, that's the girl's name. His name's Patsu, actually. And he was just making breakfast, and then he sees her, and he's like, yeah, they just started bonding after meeting her, and they decided to go find the castle in the sky, and they go onto a crazy adventures together, which is interesting. They even meet the pirates again, which is led by an old granny. She's really cool. I like her. And I really like that movie. It's also really obviously pretty. And then when they get to the castle, you get to see how it functions and stuff. It's really cool. And what was it? And the castle itself, Yeah, it looks like it's in ruins, and the only functioning thing was that robot on that thing. So, yeah, I can't explain any further if you want to watch it yourself. Yeah, I recommend it highly because it's obviously a Hayao Miyazaki film, and what else? Yeah, there's so many memorable scenes. I like the scene where they go to a cave and they decided to eat like toast together. It's so cute. And then the cave walls started glowing. It's really pretty. It's also the stones are the same material as the stone necklace that Sheeta was wearing on around her neck. It glows too, which is cool. That means it's like a that necklace is apparently a detector of where the castle is. And yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. Anything else? Have you guys watched it?
No, I haven't watched it.
No,
actually.
I've just seen I just remember seeing on one of my VHSs. Again, that makes me sound so much older than I am, but
Yeah.
I remember there being a trailer for it. So
Oh yeah, the trailer. I remember seeing that trailer in all of the VHS tapes I have. I was
yeah.
like, yeah, Castle in the Sky, a good movie.
I just remember I thought the bad guys wanted to get her necklace.
Oh yeah, they do want to get her necklace just so they could control the castle. They want
Yeah.
to use it for evil means, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is the group that held her captive. Oh yeah, anything else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. What I could say about the movie.
okay. Whose turn is it?
Your
Oh.
turn.
Is it my
Or
turn
this
or?
turn?
Or is it my? I think it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your
Yeah,
turn.
it's your turn.
Yeah, keeping with the Ghibli theme, another movie I wanted to recommend is called Whisper of the Heart.
Ah, yeah.
Oh.
And I've only seen it once, but I really like it. Not to be confused with Whisker Away, but it's also got like a whole cat thing in it. But basically, it's this girl discovers this like neat little shop, and she wants to. I found it really relatable because the girl wants to be a writer.
Ah.
And
I
she-
remember that.
and she finds this neat little shop, and there's this like figurine of this like cat guy in a suit, and she invents like a whole story about him. She spends, I think, like months or at least weeks like writing this story about this cat, and like a fantasy kind of story. But when she's at the shop, after getting to know the old man there, she meets, I think it's his grandson.
Yeah, his grandson.
And the grandson makes violins, and he wants to go to
Italy.
school.
In
Yeah. And like learn to become like a master at crafting them.
Mhm.
And like they like fall in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will. I like the scene where like all their classmates are like trying to listen in while like they're trying to confess each other
yeah.
in the rooftop.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like each of their stories, and I like when she gets to know the backstory with the old man, and oh yeah, and then like the cat that she follows to the shop too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like she follows it through the streets, and then it like boards a train, and she follows the cat onto the train. And that's how she discovers this shop.
statue.
Because this cat just goes everywhere.
Ironically, the cat is mentioned again in the other movie called The Cat Returns.
Oh,
Yeah. Again, same with the cat statue, except the story is a lot different. So
yeah.
yeah.
But I feel like Whisper of the Heart is like just kind of one of those forgotten movies because it's a Ghibli film, but it's not one that I've
people
ever
talk
seen
about.
anybody talk about.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
But it's a really good little movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I watched the movie recently, and dang, the movie was like, it feels nice watching it, despite there's nothing big.
Funnily
There's nothing
enough,
like
that's the only movie I haven't seen.
yeah, it's like nothing
or
big,
especially
and
with
such.
the
But
one with the
yeah,
airplane.
it's not like super fantasy where it's like the setting is like fantasy, but you can feel like her like trying to write her own like thing.
Yeah,
her own
yeah, like
story.
it's a I guess it's doesn't get as much attention as the other Ghiblis because it's just a drama story basically.
Oh yeah.
But there's the fantasy element in her writing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's you can call it a fantasy movie.
Yeah.
All right. I guess it's my turn. So, let's see. What am I gonna do? Okay, so I'm gonna again change it up a bit, and I'm gonna mention because the last bit are gonna just be like a bunch of manhwas anyway. So like, I'm gonna mention this animated movie that you can find on Netflix called Over the Moon, and it's a musical, and it's really interesting because it's about this girl who this is a sad beginning. She recently lost her mom due to like cancer, and so she's trying to recover from that while also like the fact she's recovered for the most part, but then her dad starts seeing another woman, and she feels kind of conflicted about it because of like, you know, who is this woman, because like, you know, this is not like yeah, she feels really conflicted because her dad's like seeing someone after like years her mom passed away, and she meets her like future like stepbrother who is apparently a ping pong what's this, not ping pong but like a paddleball champion and such. And the fun part about this movie is taking place in China, and it has a lot of Chinese culture, and I really like it since it's an all Chinese cast for the movie. And so she wants to prove to her dad that there's still like you can still love mom without having to like be with another woman, which is kind of like it's really sad. So she tries, so there's this this like myth in the movie where it's about this woman who runs away with her lover, and they have these two beings where they can like run to the moon with, but she accidentally ate two of them, and now she is sent to the moon. She became immortal and was sent to the moon while her lover was left on Earth, and she still longs for him to this day. And so the girl, she wants to prove that so she goes to the moon. She builds a rocket to the moon with random parts of like stuff in the junkyard, some stuff she takes from her dad. She orders stuff from Amazon, or at least the movie's version of Amazon. And her father's confused, and she's like, "Oh, this is a project for school." Like, and yeah, and she succeeds. But then like her brother, her future stepbrother, like sneaks on aboard, and they drive the ship to the moon, and they crash land on the moon, and then they find this like city of like creatures on the moon where the goddess like lives for all eternity, and she's like the star, and she is trying to find her way back to back to her original lover who was left on Earth, even though it's been like millennia since he recently passed. And so yeah, and she's trying to find some way to be with him again. And
that's cool.
And the girl has to find like the thing so that she can her wish can be granted by having a selfie with the goddess. Yes, that's literally how it is. And it's a really good movie. I recommend it. And also it's a musical too. So, and I love my musicals. It's really good.
It's crazy.
And it's
also what was it?
It's a very touching movie because it's talking about how to move on with your life, but never forget the people who you love in the past. So yeah. It's a movie that actually made me like kind of like teary eyed. I'm like, oh, frick. Also, it didn't help that there was like a good cast who is good at musicals. Fun fact: the actress who plays the goddess is she was on Hamilton. She was Eliza, the original one, with
cool.
Lin-Manuel.
Okay.
Yeah. So fun fact about that one. Yeah. So
That's
recommend
cool.
Over the Moon.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, it made
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix and it made me all sad and made me feel weird and it made me cry. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't it? Well, I guess I guess this might date when we recorded it, but isn't it the She Festival? Isn't that about that?
Yeah.
The board, the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge.
About it. And I don't know. I can't explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a really good movie. Recommend watching it. It's yeah.
It's
Be
2D,
prepared
the
to have
lunar
some. If you
festival
get really emotional, be prepared to have some tissues because like
Yeah.
it made me really sad.
Heartbreak.
It's like really sad but sweet.
Heartwarming.
Cause like
Yeah.
frick. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's move on before I get emotional about this movie again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Who's next?
I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, right. I forgot to do this. I don't want to confuse myself now. Let's see. The next thing I will recommend that is not a Studio Ghibli yet is Twisted Wonderland.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if we have to like explain this one a lot. Basically, anyone watching watch our Smash Your Pass series.
Yeah, the whole shtick about Disney type thing.
Yeah.
A school based on the Disney villains, and then all the
You
characters.
basically get transported into the villain world in a coffin.
In a coffin somehow.
And there's a lot
they
of
never explained how we got there. But
and there's a lot of good-looking people.
yeah, very good-looking people.
I still remember the lion guy that we all went crazy over.
He's not Scar. He's a totally different character.
He's not Scar. He's Leona.
He has his own personalities.
Yeah, he has the personality of Scar, and apparently, he's also could have been Simba if he went through a hero phase or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's great.
It's self-explanatory. We've literally made 3 videos on the Twisted Wonderland
which is surprisingly popular. Like, holy crap!
Yeah, I know, right? It's because of all the Disney fans.
But there's no way to
Twisted Wonderland fans too.
There's no way to play it here though, right? That's the only thing.
Yeah, you have to play it in the Japanese App Store. So
yeah, that's unfortunate.
That's literally what.
And another way to access the series is the YouTube.
You can literally watch English translated stuff.
Translation.
Yeah.
Also, and also the dub.
Yeah, there's currently a dub, which I'm pretty sure they're kind of on a hiatus at the moment. But yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I would play it if they eventually did if they translated it into English.
First game.
Ridiculously popular. I can't believe they didn't translate it yet. What the hell?
Because it's not like there wouldn't be an audience here for it,
right?
Yeah, it's not like they're planning to do an anime adaptation of it because I doubt it at the moment. So
I mean, are they gonna introduce us to Twisted Wonderland in anime form and then
they'll make it in English? Then they'll make it.
Yeah, but they didn't do that for Hypnosis Mike though. Yet.
Yeah, well,
I'm still waiting for the English one.
Yeah.
Still waiting for the English translation of that game.
The anime, the English version.
Oh, man.
Well, it's still a bit early, so in its in its stages, so it's already like it's already finished the first anniversary a while ago, so yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Alright. Yeah, Disney Twisted Wonderland. Owned by Japanese Disney and not actual
Japanese Disney. Not actual Disney. I mean, what was it? I guess I understand because their marketing is way different from ours.
Yep. Because what gets the audience for Disney? Oh yes, make them all boys and make them girls.
Them pretty. Make them pretty as hell.
That would be funny, having Noelle like play the game. Like, oh my gosh, it's Noelle's first gacha game. That like
her first gacha game.
Her first.
And I'd just be like right away, just looking for the lion guy.
Like, I better get the gacha. I want to get my luck rolling on Leona.
I've already made my choice.
Yeah, I've already spent a lot. Just kidding. I don't think you'll ever spend money on a gacha game, which is good. I hope you never have to experience that. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, we have 2 Leona Sims here.
Yep. Technically 3 because I also like Leona, so you're not you're not the only 2 that like him.
Leona
so
Sims.
I just like Jack better, honestly. Just like Jack still, but we're not talking about Jack at the moment.
Passionately simping over him over Leona.
Yep.